Hi, this is Dr. Pete. I'd like to show you a way to avoid errors when writing prescriptions. It's called, I'm going to call this leading and trailing zeros. Okay, so let's say you have warfarin. And let's say that you want to have warfarin 1 milligram. So this looks good, right? Because it's 1 milligram. It's not it's it's not going to be confused with 10 milligrams or 0.1 or whatever. But if you do warfarin 1 milligram here, if you do it as this, 0.0 milligrams, that could be a problem because it could be mistaken for 10 milligrams, especially if it's faxed or if there's a way that this is not clear. If this decimal point is not clear, then it's easy, especially when it's busy and you're typing in a lot of prescriptions. Then this could be confused with, it looks like warfarin 10 milligrams, right? Because it's, so if you, it's not good to use a trailing zero. That's a trailing zero because it comes after the one that we want. It's one decimal and then it's the trailing zero. So we don't want trailing zeros. Okay. Um, Now leading zeros, let's say we have, okay, hold on. Let's say we have Haldol 0.5 milligrams. So this also can be confused with Haldol 5 milligrams, right? Because there's a leading zero. It doesn't have a leading zero. Okay, so this here looks like, especially if like you fax it or this decimal point is not clear, it um, it looks like Haldol 5 milligrams. Now, if you make it, if you have a leading zero, like this, then you can see clearly that it's 0.5 milligrams. So you want leading zeros, you don't want trailing zeros, okay? Because you wanted to make sure it's clear that you want 0.5 milligrams. And also, to avoid decimal points, like let's say there's, I don't know, um, let's just say Divo Pro X 500 milligrams. So you want to use without a decimal point if possible. You don't want to say, whatever, 0.5 grams, because you just want to avoid decimal points if at all possible. That's why you would say 500 milligrams. That would be preferred over using the decimal point. If you have to use a decimal point because it's a small dose, 0.5 milligrams, then you want to use a leading zero, but you don't want to use a trailing zero to make it look like, um, you know, to make it look like it's a higher strength. Okay, so that's basically it. Warfarin or any medication, you don't want to say 1.0. You want, because that looks like 10. You want to just say 1 milligram. If it's the decimal point before the number, you want to make sure it has a leading zero so that you know that it's what strength it is. Okay, so that's what this has to do with. Okay, all right. Thank you. Until next time.